Welcome to the Peachtree Morning Show by DCI. It's a wise way to start the day. Hope you enjoy.
Good morning and welcome to Peachtree Cafe. We are happy to have you again next to us, wherever you are watching from all over the place, all over the world. Welcome to our morning show, together with Geshe Michael Roach and Seiji Arao Takahashi and me, Noor. We are super happy to be with you and continue answering our daily questions. And
Cool.
we are having our morning coffee. I make kind of Arabic coffee, and we make also for Geshe Michael to stay with us and to have the coffee with us from the yeah.
I expect double next time I see you after the
Yeah.
burger.
Yes, we are via Zoom again, and we are ready to share our question for today. We have a question, very important question from Marilyn from Dallas, and here we go to see it together.
Okay, so here we go.
This message is for Geshe Michael. I seem to be surrounded by a great deal of negativity. My credit cards were compromised twice within a month. My storage unit was broken into. Someone wants to make me feel vulnerable, or at least that is how I perceive it. And I don't know really what to do about it, and what is the seed and how it can affect my family. What can I do to protect them and myself?
Wow, that's very, for me, I see it very important and can help so many people because it is kind of scary if you have all these things in your life. What do you guys think about it?
Well, I think it'd be good to break it down. So I think she was mentioning mainly the way I see it, she was breaking it down into two things. She's having sort of fear for her things and for herself, like for both for her life and their loved ones. So this reminds me of a life tool of that we do in DCI called the top 10 good seeds that you can do. And the first two actually refer to that. That's what I was thinking of. She's having both of that things to do with her and her loved ones' lives and the properties, right?
Yes.
So I was thinking, so this is the classic one, right? So in terms for seeds to plant to stop having that from happening is to try to starting by protecting life in many different ways. Like we say that every seed grows exponentially. So it can be something very simple, like I don't know, not texting while driving, like what we're talking about in the previous video. Or for example, if you decide to stop eating animals, if you get to be vegetarian, that's a perfect way to stop, to protect life, because not only you stop the
Action.
the supply of meat, but also all those resources that were going to be used for that can be used for something else. So that's a typical one for protecting life. What about protecting properties?
What do you guys, Michael, think about how can we protect properties or what we can do?
Well, I have a strange suggestion, which is usual for me. It's not exactly about property, but it came up strong in my mind just now. So, I lived for 30 years with my teacher. And he was a tough Tibetan Lama, very tough. And then one day he opened the door of his bedroom and he put a plate of beautiful pastries outside the door, And I said, I was his, like I did all his work for him. So I said, well, what is this? Why did you put pastries outside the door? Do you want me to, am I supposed to clean it, or I'm supposed to leave it, And he said, no, just leave it. And I said, well, what is that? And he said, some spirits are bothering me. You know, they are trying to interrupt my. He was doing a small retreat, like a circle day in his room,
Mhm.
and he said some spirits in this place are bothering me. They call subduct. It means the spirit who lives in that area. Maybe they live in a tree or like that. And he said, "There's a subduct. He's bothering me." So I said, why don't you just get him, with your, like do something to stop him, And he said, no, subduct, you can't do that. You have to treat them nice, and you have to make them a nice place of pastries, and you have to give it to them, and you have to talk to them, and you have to make friends with them. It doesn't work to try to stop them. And so I always thought he's giving me messages all the time because he's my teacher. And what came up in my mind was this problem start to feel like a dark thing, like somebody's trying to make her afraid, or someone's trying to hurt her things. And it seems like almost a dark feeling. It's like a movie, and there's some guy following you.
Yeah.
And so there's this special technique where you actually make friends with them mentally. Not, you don't leave a letter on your storage unit for them, but mentally you forgive them. And mentally you do like special motivation that they should have a happy life, they should be a happy person. That dark people are unhappy.
Mhm.
And 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 so it's a very unusual thing during a dark time that you pray for that person or you try to help that person. Like right now in the virus
Yeah.
situation,
Mhm.
everyone is afraid, and all the people are holding on to two things: their money and their toilet paper.
Yeah.
And I heard in England they estimate $1 trillion of food is possibly going bad in people's house
Wow.
because they're afraid and they're keeping the food. So I think in this
Mm.
atmosphere, kind of a dark atmosphere, we have to break it, and we have to do something generous, or we have to wish good wishes on these people. And that's my idea. That's
Yeah.
my idea. But I still think we should go back to property.
Right.
Actually, that sounds great because it's a new idea and we are always more motivated to try the new ideas. So I personally would take it and try to make friends with my fears because we all have them, especially now. And it's very doable call for action. I guess it's inner work, everyone. We can take it and meditate on it. So thank you, Geshe Michael, for this seed. If we go back to saving properties, I guess, for example, she can do coffee meditation for every time she didn't for example, if she is working in the office and she was saving, for example, the sources in the office. Sometimes I admit for myself, when I was working in the office, I was printing books, using the printer. Like, it's fine, like it's the office printer. I can print this little book. It's only 30 pages. So this is not saving. Like, it's the seed we might plant sometimes to how to say, to misuse the resources or the property for others. So we can watch all these little seeds, starting from watching doing this, or doing coffee meditation for every time we protected others' property, clean someone's house, or protected laptop or telephone from falling down. These little things, because as we mentioned in the last episode we had on previously, Geshe Michael insisted on the small seeds we are planting. That actually what is showing up now. So that's what comes to my mind regarding property. What do you think?
Well, I was thinking, for example, I rent the house where I'm currently living. I rent, and there's things that, for example, the landlord is supposed to do, but there's things that I can So, for example, the other day, my sink got stuck, and I said, you know what? Instead of calling them, let me. I know that I can get it unstuck because the food processor was not working. So I tried to do it myself, and it took 5 minutes. Honestly, it was even easier than having to call the property manager, having them come. I said, you know what? I have a shop vac. I'll just use that, and it worked. So I was thinking, you know, like little things. This house is not mine, but I'm trying to do the best I can to return it at least on the same quality or better. And I think that goes for anything, you know, like we always lend stuff to each other as friends. I don't know, someone cooks you a meal and gives you their Tupperware, so you clean it up and give them back. I don't know, little things.
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking I still have John Brady's pot in my house. You know?
Right. Or I don't know, if someone, if you're in the car with someone, or like little things, whenever you are in contact with someone else's things, to try to make them better, you know?
Yeah. And here comes to my mind very, I think, important idea to mention for Marilena, because she seems scared. Even though if we have, we see in our life tragic things or big disasters, right? Does not mean we did that big things in the past and that we are bad people. And don't panic. This is might be small action, like look for the small action and repair it from that point of view. Because I myself feel like scared when I think I had this personal experience, because I lived in a country where was in war and still, right? And you ask yourself, oh my God, I don't know what's happened. Maybe I don't wake up next day physically. You really, and we get to think, what big thing shall I do to prevent this? Actually, we don't let the panic control you. Start with small things, save or protect in a small way lives or properties. And the moment these seeds will grow, you will see everything will change. So having a bad, terrible experience, which I acknowledge you are having a terrible experience, dear Marilyn, but the hope is, because everything comes from our seeds, small seeds can really make the shift. And I'm sure if you look in your life, you will see so many good things you planted and so many good things you can plant now to overcome this dark side. And we are super sorry you are going through this.
You know, I was thinking now when you were mentioning, there's a third seed that we forgot that you mentioned, which is the seed of fear. So that could be another way of approaching this. I mean, yes, the property and people's lives, but also
safety.
Yeah, giving other people safety.
Yes.
Like very simple right now.
Share good news.
House.
Yeah, share good news. I tell you from, for example, what I used to do. Sometimes we give safety by saying nice words, not necessarily faking news positively, but because we know, like the pen, everything comes from our own seeds. If we speak positively about it, if we tell people how we can overcome this instead of sharing how many people died or whatever, we can share the good news about it. So that creates safety. For example, if we buy food, don't buy everything, leave something on the shelf so maybe someone would come and take it. Sometimes we save animals. Like, I'm sure every one of us would give food for cats on the street or will save animals. So these things create good results safety-wise. And this is, again, I'm taking everything to coronavirus. I mean, these times are a great chance to plant good seeds. And yes, Geshe-Micah.
I got one more idea. And this is a very interesting thing my teacher taught me. He will, when he goes into a room or he goes into the kitchen, he will be very careful to observe what situation is there that might hurt somebody. So if the chair is in the way of walking, he will move the chair for me because I might go in there half an hour from now.
Yeah.
When he washed the dishes and he put the fork, he always put the fork down. Or a knife, he will never leave a knife in the dishwashing place he
Uh-huh.
will clean it and he will put it away.
Mhm.
Uh, he will dry it himself so that there's no chance it will hurt me. If I have a glass of
Mhm.
water, he will, if I have it like this, he will, walking by, he will move it to the
Mhm.
middle of the table
Uh-huh.
so that I won't drop it on myself, you know. And it was very, I think it's a very interesting approach to go through a room and see anything that might be dangerous for your partner or something.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tell them,
Mhm.
you just move it. You just move it. Or something on the floor, they might fall. I heard a lady yesterday fell down on the dishwasher was open and she died.
Oh my.
And you can go around your house and you can
Yeah. Move stones,
change
for
things
example.
that might hurt people.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's time to conclude, to give her specific seeds to plant and
Mhm.
specific actions to take to plant safety, protection, and peace of mind, because fear is irritating the peace of mind. So, what would you advise?
So we said protecting life
Mhm.
in any way you possible,
Mhm.
like we're saying, cooking a healthy meal for someone,
Mhm.
helping someone, looking out for the small things in the house, protecting property,
Mhm.
which is whenever we can come in contact with someone else's things to make sure that we return them in the same or better in a
Mhm.
better state.
Mhm.
And then the third one was fear. No?
I like the idea Geshe Michael mentioned, make friends with these fears, like with these dark sides, don't, or these people. If you feel, Marilena, like someone is trying to hurt you, uh, just try not to give it that much power and just let it fade away. And meanwhile, do the things we are saying. Geshe Michael, you wanted to tell us something?
Well, I would say two things. Pray for the success and happiness of the people who hurt you.
Mhm.
Because when people hurt you, it means automatically they are unhappy people.
Mhm.
So nobody wants to be unhappy. Nobody likes to be unhappy. So instead of finding ways to fight them,
Mm.
just pray for their happiness, pray for their good health,
Mhm.
pray for their success, pray that they don't think about hurting people.
Mhm.
And so I think that's a sweet thing you can do.
Mhm.
And the other thing was, I really think it's a nice practice to look for small things in the house that somebody might trip on it,
Mhm.
or somebody might slip on it, or even how you wash the glasses, keep them away from this edge of the table thing.
Mhm.
Protect the people in your house and you don't have to talk to them. And somehow, anonymous helping other people is more sweet.
Mhm. Yes. Bless you. That's Corona.
Yeah, so maybe they will never know that you moved the glass, or
Mhm.
they will never know that you closed the dishwasher, but
Yes.
you're protecting them. Yeah.
Mhm.
And actually, that's sweeter when no one knows. You just do it for you.
Yeah. Mhm. That's very joyful. Thank you, Geshe
That's
Michael.
all.
And now we are ready for the next question, which will be for tomorrow, Thursday, April 9. And we'll be again with Victoria and Vitali, and they chose very sweet question from Marina from Germany. And here we go and see you together.
Hello, my name is Marina. I'm from Germany, and my question is how can I let people go where I still have the feelings for them? And we have a child in a marriage, but this person is already in a new relationship and is happy, and his priority is his new woman, his new family.
Okay, so to know the answer, join us tomorrow morning. We'll be together. And meanwhile, if you have questions, yes, get Michael.
Um, Finish your sentence first.
Okay, we are waiting for your questions on seed questions at diamondcutterinstitute.com. Please send us selfie style 30-second video, and we are super happy to receive them and to answer them all over the week. And here the final word for Geshe Michael. You want to?
Oh, I just wanted to show you guys my T-shirt.
Wow,
nice.
so nice.
It says group hug.
Ah.
And it's all these traditional Mexican animals, right, Seiji? I think so. And
Yeah.
These are from my friends in Guadalajara,
Mm-hmm.
Anatole and Aisha and their team. They are called Green Stretch Pen
Mm-hmm.
because they are teaching kids how to eat better, more greens, how to stretch and do more exercise, and how to understand the pen and treat each other well. And they just had their first training in Mexico, and I think 140 Mexican school teachers came. They taught them for free. They are helping them to feed about 3,000 kids healthy food. So I thought if anyone listening is likes this idea, and actually the Mexican government passed a law that they will be helping about 15 million kids.
Wow,
And
great.
I just wanted to congratulate them. And if you have if in your country kids are getting overweight,
Mm-hmm.
or kids are fighting a lot with each other, or the kids are not doing exercise,
Mm-hmm.
you can write to me, Geshe Michael at Gmail, and I can hook you up with these guys. They have a great program,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very helpful for kids.
That's great.
Another a great karmic partner, because I'm from Mexico, and this is a very hard problem that we have, which is childhood obesity. Number one in the world, Mexico. It's horrible. So this is the perfect karmic partner.
Yes, and perfect chance for us to do coffee meditation here in Yogesh Michael for this great project, so we remember all these good things happening around us. And that's exactly what we meant by sharing good news. Thank you so much, Geshe Michael, for sharing this news with us. Thank you for Peach Tree Cafe and for inviting us. And thank you guys for watching. See you tomorrow. I mean, next week. Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching today's Peachtree Morning Show. See you next time.